Hey guys, Johnny here from Pixel Street Videos, and we finally have a better look at the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I am so hyped for this. We're gonna do an over analysis video. We're gonna just watch the trailer. I'm gonna pause it and talk about things I've seen in the trailer at certain points. If I missed something, you notice something, there's something that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments below. Let's start up a discussion. I will reply to everyone who says something down there. But also like the video and subscribe for more of this stuff. But yeah, let's jump right in. All right, we have something right off the bat here to talk about. Let's see if I can time it. All right, as we can see here, the calamity tendrils and all that are surrounding Link's arm, and we will actually see at throughout this trailer that Link loses his arm here. Like this, whatever is happening here, Link loses his arm. We'll go into that more here in a little bit when they actually show his new mechanical arm and everything. But really an odd, not I wouldn't say odd, but an unexpected move from Nintendo to remove one of their most famous, most well-known characters' arm, especially since he's a sword wielder. All right, right there was. Let's see if I can time it up again. Right here is what everyone. It's got to be Ganon. It's the same creature, zombified, re-dead version of Ganon that we saw in the first trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, the one that was just like, and then it came to life and all that. So we see it actually alive here. It's most likely controlling the calamity stuff that's surrounding Link. It's got to be Ganon, right? It's Ganondorf, just a zombified version of him. I don't know. We'll see more as time goes on. Even though in the first game, Zelda said, "Oh, Ganon has given up his resurrection, or not his resurrection, his whatever. He gave up his thing to come back for this fight." That was actually a translation issue, I guess. I heard about that at some point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I heard wrong. But they're still bringing Ganon back. And I think that's who this is here. Just a zombified version of him. See Zelda fall into a dark pit here, and this is actually the only time we see Zelda in this trailer, which is interesting. There was a lot of talk during the first trailer about the potential of Breath of the Wild 2 being a game where you could potentially play as Zelda. It doesn't look like that at this point. Looks like you're only going to play as Link. She falls down here. Maybe Ganon captures her. We have to find her, save her. Regardless, it doesn't look like she's going to be by our side like I think a lot of people might have thought would happen. And no, she's not dying at the bottom of this. There's no way that they would kill her. All right, and right off the bat here, we see one of the biggest changes with the Breath of the Wild sequel. We're going back into the skies, and with this makes so much more sense now why they chose to remaster Skyward Sword on Switch. It just makes so much sense now. Because if you listen to our podcast and everything, you'll hear me talk about Skyward Sword is not a good way to celebrate the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. Like, before this, I was like, why are they doing this? It's one of the most divisive games in the series. When you have such bangers like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, that are just renownedly loved by everyone. And they brought back Skyward Sword. So it didn't make much sense at the time. Now it makes sense to me because we're obviously going to be playing in the sky a lot. While they don't show any loft wings here, they've got to be appearing, right? I don't know. I hope loft wings appear as a mount, in addition to the horses that you would see on the ground and everything. I have seen some comparisons that this floating island kind of looks like the starting point from Skyward Sword. I've never played Skyward Sword all the way through, so I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah, there were a lot of old locations from past Zelda games in the first Breath of the Wild, so that would make sense to me here. Yeah. No idea why these floating islands are here now, although we do see Hyrule Castle get lifted into the air and everything. So maybe these are just locations from around Hyrule that were also lifted into the air as well as the castle. When you first see that, you might think, oh, it's only the castle being lifted up, but maybe there are just certain regions in Hyrule that are being tossed in the sky. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Now that we're a little closer, we can see Link's arm here. And you know what? It doesn't look like... I have a theory here. I don't think Link actually loses his arm at the beginning there, where I said that. I think it just gets transformed into this mechanical thing. Because if I look close here, and granted, this isn't the greatest quality, and I can't see super sharp, it looks like his arm and the mechanical part, like, they're not just connected. It looks like it goes from mechanical to flesh. So that tendril stuff might have been transforming Link into something like a guardian, like a mechanical being. That's interesting. Let me know what you think about that. Because, yeah, it doesn't look like it was cut off and replaced by mechanical stuff. Although, there is a very big chance that that is still the case, knowing the Sheikah's affinity with mechanical engineering and everything in Breath of the Wild. But that would be an interesting point if that Calamity stuff, instead of taking over machines, started taking living beings and making them into machines that he can control. That would be really interesting, but we don't get any answers for that for this trailer. That's just a running theory off the top of my head here. All right, here we have the glider back and more floating aisles. Glider looks the same as it ever has. We do see Link here wearing some different clothes from before, so yes, gonna be able to change out your armor and stuff. Also want to point out his hair here. It's not really longer. I think he's just not wearing his ponytail that he wore in all of the first game. I do want to take a look at that thing. This looks like we'll see it here in a second. Those creatures, those rock mini bosses. This kind of looks like something similar to that, like it's some kind of building boss. Maybe it's not a boss. Maybe is there someone standing in there? Or is that just light? Yeah, okay. I think that was just it connecting. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Whether it's a boss, whether it's some kind of Sheik. It's not a Sheikah thing. It doesn't have the same colors or everything. This looks like an enemy to me. I don't know. Here is a really cool thing. So we have a little Bokoblin fortress here. Being lifted up by... Oh, man, it's going to bug me. I can't remember the name of them at the moment. It's been way too long since I played Breath of the Wild. But yeah, we'll actually see like Bokoblin fortresses being carried by these guys now, which is a really cool idea, because before those rock guys, I mean, it was really cool the first time I saw one because I wasn't expecting it. But after that, it was like, okay, this guy's just kind of annoying to come across now. But yeah, seeing like an actual like mini fortress on it, that's awesome. Alright, so here we get a better look at Link's arm. And here, so it's being surrounded by a green flowing energy of some kind. And if you look at the end of his arm here, he still has fingernails. That's not something that you would see on a mechanical arm. And there's like bandages and everything. Yeah, I'm starting to lean more towards Link was partly corrupted by the Calamity. Either it was starting to take control of him, it was trying to transform him, whatever is going on there. Whatever, this swirling energy looks like something that could be coming from those sage guys, the guys in the not the temples, the shrines, the Sheikah shrines. It looks like something that could be coming from them, kind of making his arm that mechanical thing. I'm not sure. There's so many questions from this. Oh, wait. Okay, we see the color coming out of it. Man, yeah, I can't. That definitely looked mechanical at the end there. But why did it have fingernails? Does he have fingernails here? I don't know. I've got to stop focusing on his arm, but it's so... I want to know so bad. Here we see our first Sheikah Slate power. It looks like a variation of the time stasis from the first game, except instead of freezing something in time for you to like go up and hit it, it will actually make it go backwards in time, which is really cool. Here we have, this isn't a Sheikah power. That looks like a shield that's putting out the fire. Or wait. Yeah, that's a shield. So it was a shield with like some kind of like head on it. It could have been like a dragon head that shot out fire. So that's really cool. Maybe they're introducing even more ways for the weapons to impact game. Because before, all you had were your swords, your melee weapons, and there was like fire and ice and lightning variants, but they didn't get too crazy outside of that. And the shields were honestly just shields. Like you could parry stuff back at enemies, and you could surf on them, but there was nothing with the shields that made them really stand out. So it's kind of cool seeing the fire there. Here we also get to see what I suspect is another Sheikah power to do with like raindrops, where Link actually goes through some masonry here. Very interesting to see that. I don't know how much that would be able to be used in the game outside of these floating aisles. Maybe you can use it to like walk through walls. That would be really cool. But if you can only do it going up, I'm not sure how useful that is. Want to point out this little pedestal here to the right. It could just be a light or something that they put on there, but it kind of looks like it should be an interesting thing. Also, this building to the right, maybe this is the new form of the Sheikah shrines. So instead of like going down underground, maybe you're like going into these like mini temples and everything to do your puzzles and everything. That would be cool. And yeah, we get a better look of it here. You know what? Actually, it doesn't look like it has much on the other side of it. Man, I want to know. Real quick while we're looking at this, though, Breath of the Wild, the sequel here, beautiful environment again. And here we get to see Hyrule Castle being lifted into the sky. Here we have a better look of the area surrounding Hyrule Castle. It doesn't look that different from the first game, which isn't surprising. You would imagine that they would use a lot of the same layout because that's a gigantic world. But yeah, it looks pretty much the same here. Although the castle did look a little more run down than it did before. I mean, it was pretty run down, but it looked like with no Calamity Ganon there anymore, that there was a lot of I don't know, just it didn't. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Whatever, just ignore me. Ah, that music. "2022, baby." There's one more thing I want to talk about because I forgot to talk about it. So I did talk about Link's arm here a lot. Here, Link does not have his mechanical arm. This makes me think that we're either going to see some kind of time jump because he's also not wearing he's wearing his ponytail here. This looks like the first Breath of the Wild Link here. It's just, this is the only part in this trailer that he looks like this, where he looks like he did in the first game. Yeah, because it looks like he's just wearing a sleeve and his gloves right there. It does not look like he has a mechanical arm there. So yeah, I think we see some kind of time jump or whatever happens. But yeah, very interesting. Let me know what you think about the Breath of the Wild sequel, teaser, trailer, gameplay reveal, whatever you want to call it. A lot of things to talk about in here. Really hope that we get answers sooner than later, but knowing Nintendo, it's probably going to be next E3 before we see this game again. Regardless, though, I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like and comment and blah, blah, blah. Subscribe and all that. And yeah, we will catch you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!